countries. And finish off this map drawing video. So I'm going to do Italy first, a nice sort of dark green. Okay, so let's see. So when what I've decided to do, at least for this Croatian video, this Croatian map drawing video, is decided to come back and do a part 2. Part 1 was the map drawing and colouring in of Croatia and the edge of the sea. And then I thought to myself, why don't I do a second part where I colour in all the other countries that are around about. It takes about 35 minutes, I suppose, maybe 40, just to do the map of Croatia, the colouring in and the talking about it. So I'm guessing that this video will take another 30 to 40 minutes to finish it off. I don't really know how long it'll take, but anyway. Only time will tell. I haven't practiced this at all, so anything's possible, I suppose. That looks good. Actually, what I'm going to do is, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually shade in the Adriatic Sea before I do anything else, and I'll just clean out the bit of the sharpener. I did that off screen because I didn't want the little red shavings to end up in the blue sea, kind of contaminated. Get some nice shavings going from the blue. something about my day. I've misplaced my remote control that runs there's a little, on the TV there's a little TV box, streaming box, I think it is, yeah. It's called a Telstra TV box, which means that my 10-year-old TV it's an LCD TV. It's actually been surprisingly good. I'm sure you can get a better picture on current model ones, but yeah, the picture's really nice and crisp. Yeah, that little set box. It's not really a set top box, is it? No. It's more of a streaming box, Telstra TV box. Telstra as in T-E-L. S-T-R-A. Anyway, I've misplaced the remote control, so I'm hoping to clean out my sharpener. Now I'm going to do the green down here, up here a bit. So I've lost that, see how that goes. Misplaced. Misplaced my the remote control for that streaming box. I spent a fair bit of time today looking around, trying to work out where I might have left it. Anyway, I haven't found it yet. I think that if it doesn't turn up, I've got another one that I'm borrowing from another TV, so I can use it. But I have to buy another one online, I think, another one of the remote controls. It's just one of those kind of frustrating things. Okay, so I've used blue and green, so I'm going to put those to one side. set in a chocolate factory in, I think it might have been Belgium. People there seem to speak Dutch, and maybe better. Some of the stuff I'm not really sure. But, so I started watching it because I've been learning Dutch, learning this bracket in Netherlands. And so I thought watching a show like that would be good, to help me to have an interesting show to watch, and also to learn, because they talk in Dutch, and then the English subtitles come up underneath, so it's easy enough to follow the story, and hopefully I get into the swing of maybe a little bit of the language. But anyway, so where I'm going with that story is there was 2 workers at the factory, at the chocolate factory, who came from Kosovo, working in Netherlands or Belgium, wherever the factory was, and they got deported. But one of the men or boys, from the factory, fell in love with the daughter. He got deported back to Kosovo, and so there was 5 of them in the end, and they travelled from Netherlands all the way down to Kosovo, and obviously they did find it in the Netherlands, down in Kosovo, so yeah, I suppose, yeah, I think they said it was 2,000 kilometres, but I suppose, travelling 2,000 kilometres for love isn't that exceptional, except for the fact that the boy, the man, and the 4 others were all disabled. They didn't have a lot of money, and they got the train as far as they could with the money they had, and then they were hitchhiking lifter to get to their final destination, and when they were down here somewhere, I remember the exact path. I can't remember. There was 2 Serbian men when they were down here. The 3 other had been 3 other friends had dropped out. I suppose that's a good way of being caught up with them, and they didn't continue on. It was just 2, Jasper and what was his friend's name? Can't remember. They've done Serbia. Nice pink. Anyway, you may have noticed that this map video has changed slightly. because it's actually a different map. Well, it's a different version of the same map. This is the one that I started. Oh no, I did for the first video, and then for some reason I can't think of why now it didn't work out. I think there might have been some sort of noise in the background or something that maybe, so I redid it. Anyway, I was halfway through the current video. I recorded it right to the end, and I was halfway through editing and realised that I was doing a lot of sniffing. I actually had a cold when I was recording it, and I thought that it was going to be okay. So I anyway, so I decided I've done coloured in Serbia, coloured in Kosovo, coloured in Italy, coloured in the Adriatic Sea, and now I'm just sort of going to finish off this video. Using a different but very similar map, so hopefully that's okay. I'm going to colour in Bosnia and Herzegovina in a nice brown colour. And so I believe I was telling the story about Jasper, and the other man's name was Frank, I'm pretty sure, Frank. And where they'd met up with two Serbians in a car, I think it was a BMW, on their way to Kosovo. They were hitchhiking. Or, well, they were calling it lifter in the TV show. Although I just looked up lifter on Google Translate, and there was no mention of it. I think it was just lift. Hitchhiking was just lift. Now, so I think anyway the two Serbians were driving them along, and they got upset, I think, when they realised that they were going to Kosovo, because Kosovo is recognised as a separate country by countries such as Australia and a lot of other countries around the world, well, including Kosovo. The Serbians feel that it still should be part of Serbia. Kosovo should be Serbia. Anyway. So anyway, past part of that TV show. As part of the TV show, they the two Serbians decided to rob Jasper and Frank, but there was a bit of a fight ensued. Well, took place. Probably a word I'd say. More likely to say took place rather than ensued. Took place, and when they tried to rob them, when the two Serbians tried to rob Jasper and Frank, and one of the Serbians ended up getting I'm sort of a bit disjointed because I've done the other video yesterday, and now I'm doing the rest of it. I've done the first half of the video yesterday, and now I'm doing the second half today, so it's sort of not really, sort of clearly in my mind, not clearly in my mind, as to what I've already talked about, and why I'm talking about things. A little bit of purple shavings. This is quite good. In the video that I recorded yesterday, I coloured in Bosnia and Herzegovina in black. But initially it was light blue, but that was too close to the sea colour. So I coloured it in black. I might do Romania in purple too. I coloured it in black and kind of regretted it, but anyway. There goes Romania. A little better. Couple little shavings. Yep. Good old Romania. Now, you may have noticed that I had a line up here for Hungary, and I was thinking that was the border for Hungary, but Hungary, I believe, extends right across the top there of Serbia to the north of Serbia. So, just saying. So what I might do, a light green for Hungary. Okay, now, before I start that in detail, I was going to write Luka Modric. Now I hope I've spelled that correctly. I think I have. And I like in football. And Mark Viduka. Now, just spelled Mark Viduka's name wrong, which is not a good sign. And they're both footballers. So I'll continue on with Hungary and talk about Luka Modric and Mark Viduka. So when I did the first Croatian map video, there was a number of people that said, what about Luka Modric? Why didn't you mention him? You mentioned everybody else. Lydia Basic and Eric Banner. People wrote, my comment was Lydia Basic and lol, that I mentioned her, but anyway, I suppose it was a bit of a lol to mention. Okay, that was a bit of a lol, but anyway, just one of those sort of people. This is Lydia Basic. Just one of those sort of things, you watch one video of hers, and you know the way the algorithm works, it 2018, the national team at the World Cup took them to the final. They lost against, I think it might have been France now. I've just forgotten that now. It probably was France. A little bit of green for Albania. Actually, on the other video I did Albania in that sort of a light brown, I suppose. I don't know. It looked terrible. These colours are much better. Now what I might do. What might I do? Oh no, I'm going to do. I do Austria up here in a nice brown. Yes, I did. Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. I've mentioned Luka Modric, and interestingly enough, his cousin is Mark Viduka, who I think is about 10 years older than Luka Modric and Mark Viduka, Australian football player, captained, sure that was the story, captained the Socceroos in 2006 at the World Cup when they went to round of 16, which is the best Australia's ever done, which they did round of 16, the last World Cup. Got knocked out by Argentina. But, that's a pretty good result now. Slovenia, I might do Slovenia. It's my last country. I've actually got a friend who comes from Slovenia, or I think his dad might actually. Yeah, I think he was pretty funny. So, he often talks about Slovenia, but it's been good to sort of do this map video, and I know I'll always remember. I knew roughly where it was, but it's all part of, just there at the north of, west of Croatia, most northeast there. Take back to those early days when I did the maps and always got the east and west mixed up. Not sure why I did that. I think my choice of colours now in the second half of this map video so much better. Now did I dig. I finished talking about seeing what I was up to. There's a little lump there. Okay, I've just flicked off. There was a little bit of shavings underneath. Now, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So I finished talking about that hard chocolate. I finished talking about Luka Modric, Mark Viduka. I had to mention, of course, Lydia Basic a few times as well. So anyway, please don't. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say please don't look her up, but anyway, no, you can do it if you want. Okay, there we go, there's Slovenia. thought is, actually what I'll do, I'll put a little bit more green up here. And finish up this sort of corner. What my actual, oh that's what I was going with that, yeah. What my thought is, that I'll, gotta find a clean finger. What my thought is, that see I'll publish this video, you know about that because you're watching it, and then I've got the other video that I did on the first half of Croatia. So my thought is to put the two videos together, and that'll give me, you know, well over, well you guys, well over an hour. The two videos together, part one, part two. That'll give you a great compilation video for the map drawing video of Croatia, which will probably release in July sometime. Well, if I was sort of really well organised, what I'd do is I'd have a whole schedule listed out of all the videos that I was going to do on all my channels. This weekend, this video, this weekend, this video. I'm not really that organised. I have to think sometime during the week. It's good if I can do it earlier on. I kind of get it out of the way and then I've got plenty of time to edit it. Especially if I make a mistake like in this one. Yeah, but, and if I did that I'd say, well yeah, definitely July such and such a date for this compilation video. But anyway, it's not to be, so I'll put my hands to one side so you can all admire the video. Well, that might be a bit of egotistical comment there, mustn't it? You can admire my video, admire my colouring in. All the stuff that I learnt when I was about 10. Okay, well, colouring in wise it is. I think I remember doing maps when I was a kid, and you do the little outline with the pencil and then you do the shavings in the middle. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. Okay, now enough of my dribble, my rabbiting on. I'm going to say that it's the end of the video. I've taken up enough of your time, so I'll wrap it up now and say I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it relaxing. Thanks for watching.